Hello Commanders, welcome to the command table. My name is Matt, and we have all kinds of different ways to take down Jormag today. We'll go ahead and hop into that, but first, if you'd please be so kind as to like, subscribe, and if you want notifications when I drop new videos, be sure to hit that notification bell. Also, if you have any questions or comments, leave those below. You can also join us on the command table Discord server. There is a link in the description. You can get a jump start on the raid by seeing the builds that are submitted for this video and to help each other out. So please do check that out. Everyone is welcome. All right, let's go ahead and show you what we've got going on. Anturium is back. He was missing in action there for a while. I hadn't seen him around, but he is back at it. He is using no-elixirs. He's got toe 4, ring 4, and pendant 4. The toe clicks after a few seconds. I think it's right after the assassins die, and that gives everything a little health bump. But I don't think it requires much of anything in the way of power stones either. He might have leech on a few things, but probably the phoenix, I would guess. But yeah, pretty straightforward. Gets the job done. 2 sets of ECs. So not everybody has that, but we do have alternatives. The boost helps a lot, so if you don't have 2 ECs, you can technically get 2 ECs with boost. They just may not have all the power stones. Again, a lot of folks are doing this without a lot of power stones. Okay, he's already got the heart. Let's go ahead and move on. Okay, Enophant has this going on. Let's back that up just a smidge so you can kind of see what he's got in the beginning here. He's got a celestial spear and a phoenix with some entangling roots. He's also got a blessed bombot, 2 groups of ECs, and then the typical assassins in the back to take out those arcane archers. So assassins are about to die, which pops the toe heal. Then the blessed bombot goes through and caps everything off even more. I found that the blessed bombot isn't super crucial. And I even tried using a druid to mimic someone else's build, but the druid just dies too fast. It's possible to position it in such a way that it won't get jacked, but the druid just doesn't really have the staying power for the build, and it's not super required anyway, but we'll see that in a minute. So there was no druid in this one, but the blessed bombot, I don't think it was super necessary. If you have leech, then the ECs wouldn't be so low, but if they're not so low, they're not going to do as much damage because they do more damage the lower health they are. So he's not super dependent on the ECs to get the damage done, though, because he's got the celestial spear in the back here that's going to be doing all kinds of good damage. Okay, so I would drop the blessed bombot, honestly. Okay, here is Randu. This one is very unique build, very different. You very rarely ever see the icebreakers anywhere, let alone in a raid. So Randu was kind enough to share this with us. Let's take a peek. Looks like he's got reload and leech. Oh, and he changed the faction on the Rhinos. Okay, the 2 different freezing implements there between the freezing trap and the frost bloom. That's going to enable the icebreakers to insta-kill a lot of the risen warriors that are going to pop up in the back there. Note about the assassins. You notice that his assassins attack the top 3, but they miss the bottom one. I put my assassins all the way to the back, and I try to align them in as vertical a way as possible, and I'll show you here in just a minute where I place them in relation to those little dots at the back. That way you can have them split to go to all 4 of those arcane archers. He's still got this one down here that's causing not too much of an issue, but it is nice to just get rid of all of them. So yeah, very, very interesting build. I like it. Thinking outside the box, Randy. All right, there he goes. We got the heart, so let's go ahead and move on. And let's see what else we've got. We have builds from Immortalis. So this is recorded from his YouTube channel. I'm not sure if he's promoting this one. If any of you guys want me to link to your channels, I can do that, but most folks just use it to share the videos with the group rather than to be a content creator and try and promote it. But if anybody does want to promote it, I'll be happy to link to your channels. 2 elixirs on this one. We're working with accuracy and regen. We got a couple archers that got clipped by the arcane archers back there. Yeah, the ranged elixir, or the accuracy elixir, is very powerful. Just nukes through everything very, very quickly. And shredding through the boss's HP. And yeah, he's going to get the heart without any trouble. So yeah, very solid build. Again, elixir heavy. So, we try to find ways to do it without, but I thought I'd share that with you just in case somebody wants to do that depending on their unit levels. Here is Hikaji. You can see he's got 2 groups of ECs, a Reno, there's the Druid in there, Phoenix, and 2 groups of Assassins. So yeah, if you're having trouble getting all of those arcane archers down, again, usually it's not a deal breaker if you don't get all 4, but you can use 2 groups of assassins if you want to, and that guarantees that they'll all go down. So he's running through the power stones. And this one isn't very power stone dependent. You can typically get by without them entirely if you've got rank 4 toe. So a lot of the builds are very similar. They kind of use the same elements with the Eternal Champions, the Phoenix. You either see a Reno or sometimes a Stormcaller. I've even used the Mechanical Horror, which you'll see here in just a minute. The Mechanical Horror is becoming less and less appealing for me for this raid. The Reno just shreds through so many things so fast that it's just the superior choice in my opinion. Okay, so there's Hikaji, getting that done. Let's go ahead and pop over to the next, which, okay, we showed Immortalis. Okay, now I've replicated Pataglu's setup because he shared a screenshot instead of the video. So I've just duplicated what he did. I think, if I recall correctly, he said that he didn't have any power stones. So I have put power stones on, but not super dependent on those. So again, very similar. Eternal Champions, Phoenix, Reno, and then Assassins in the back. See, my Assassins didn't quite split because they were a little too high. If I put them just a little bit lower, they would have run up and killed the second one from the bottom, and then they would have split up and down from there, and they would have killed all 4. So we'll see if we notice that in the future recordings. But yeah, very, very dependable. Again, no elixirs, doing just fine without him. I do have very high artifact levels, but you'll see here in just a moment that that's not super crucial. Dr. Vive, he has contributed this. He's got the Druid and the Blessed Bombot, which I'm not a fan of really using either of those for this. They're just not required, and adding some more damage. Like if you remove both of those, you could put a Reno in there, and that would have shredded through all that stuff. Like their one is Druid, and the Blessed Bombot's already gone, but everything's way high on health. So I mean, it's safe, and he's got the damage to get the job done. So there's really nothing to complain about. It's just a matter of preference. I just would have rather have had more damage units, since you got tons of units with health to hold the boss, and if you have a Reno, that would just shred through the health even faster. Stormcaller is okay, but yeah, I'd almost rather have another Phoenix or even a Celestial Spear. But again, solid build. It does the job great. So let's see, Bisou. I replicated his setup on my second profile. So this is what he was doing. I don't think he had any power stones either, but I did put power stones on mine just because I had them. I figured, why not? There's no reason not to use the power stones if you got them. So yeah, Phoenix does a great job clearing all the way through. Oh, it gets hung up on these little earth elemental splits, but it's just a matter of time before it clears the rest of the way. It's a little tight on those ECs, getting low on health, but you can see if you've got them to level 100, they can tank for a very long time. And being that low on health, they just shred through, doing extra damage. Okay, so there's that. I made my own tweaks to it just to kind of meet my preference. I added, I think, a second Phoenix. And here's the power stones. Got Berserk on the ECs, Leech on the Monster Hunter, nothing on the Reno. Reload would be ideal. And then Berserk and Crit on one of the Phoenix. And just damage stones on the Assassins. I prefer Crit on the Assassins, but I didn't have them. So I was going to see if I had Reload, but I did not. So that's what that was all about. Only working with level 4 artifacts on this profile. But I'm pretty sure you can do this with level 3. You just have to be very conscious about, if you're using Toe rank 3, that you may want to steer clear of using 2 groups of ECs. So this may be a better setup for you. Because if you have 2 groups of ECs, then something's got to die before you get below the threshold for the heal and the excess health and damage to proc. So there's that. Very stable. I tried using a mechanical horror on my 3rd profile, and as you can see, it's not the greatest. Like, yeah, it helps. It kind of keeps everything away, but you really don't have to worry about keeping everything away. The Reno gets to shred through anything that gets super close anyway. So the mechanical horror just doesn't do nearly as much damage as having something else would do. So yeah, again, I would prefer either a second Phoenix, even a Stormcaller, but the Phoenix would be preferable to that, and a Celestial Spear would also be good. Because once you get to the boss, the Celestial Spear is going to do a heck of a lot more than this Mechanical Horror is doing. So it just took too long to get anywhere, and I'm only working with level 80 ECs, I think, so that's why they don't have the longevity to carry through. Yeah, we'll just go ahead and skip forward. I only got to about 50%, and then I revamped it, and I threw on a regen just because the units are a little bit lower level on this profile, and you'll see I've added that Celestial Spear. So yeah, dropping the Mechanical Horror, adding Celestial Spear, and that makes a big difference. Reload and Leech on the Reno. Just a Leech on the Phoenix. If I had more Berserk, the Phoenix would greatly benefit from Berserk, because I think it'll one-shot the Risen Warriors. Again, if you're having trouble, just throw on the Regen Elixir, and that stabilizes pretty much everything. You look at the health pools on everything, and they're all doing just fine. So yeah, some of the ECs are over half health, so they're really not benefiting too much from the Berserk, but the ones that are below are cleaning up very well. And again, you see those Risen Warriors kind of lingering. If I had Berserk on that Phoenix, they would have all been one-shot. But yeah, that Regen Elixir kind of makes it a guaranteed win. So if you're concerned about spending extra keys by having a few failed attempts here and there, you can just throw on the Regen, and that should buy a win every time. Okay, so there's that, and we also have, after this, I think we've got the bomb train, so let's go ahead and take a peek at that. Okay, so this is my profile that has nothing over level 50, and it's on SR10. So you're able to do a raid that rewards mythic artifacts with only level 50 units, and I've got rank 2 on the 2 pertinent artifacts up there, as you can see. Now, a note is, here, let's get down to here where you can see the unit levels. There we go. A note is that I've put both assassins in the back just to make it easy to clear up all those arcane archers. But once you get, I think it's to SR 12, there's a frost wizard down here. So I would take one of those groups of assassins and knock out that frost wizard, and then do the vertical formation on the other group of assassins so that they split and take out all the arcane archers. But it's just lazy to do it. Since there's no frost wizard there, might as well just make it easy. I line up the bomb bots with kind of this little diagonal corner, the center of that diagonal corner. I try to line up the first one right in the middle of that diagonal corner, and then everything else from there back. No run speed at all, and it just goes straight through. We'll let it run one more time. But that's it for today. Very straightforward. Lots of ways to do it with no elixirs. If you're struggling with the no elixir builds, you can throw 1 elixir on there, or sometimes 2, depending on what you're using, and it's going to work great. So thanks for watching, everyone. Again, you can subscribe, hop onto the TCT Discord channel, and thank you to everybody who contributed. All kinds of people submitting their screenshots and their videos. So thank you to the community for that. Also, please subscribe. We're 3/4 of the way to 1,000 subscribers. Once we get to 1,000, we can apply to be monetized, and we can start doing some more fun things with the channel. So just can't justify the resources until we get there. So thanks for watching. Appreciate all the help from the community, and we will have more content for you soon. Thanks, guys.